At the edge of the city stood the notorious biker bar, the Rusty Chain. Inside, smoke swirled under dim neon lights, and laughter mixed with the clinking of glasses. The air was thick with the smell of leather, beer, and fried food. At the heart of it all sat the leader of the Iron Wolves, Vance the Hammer Malone. With his thick beard, intimidating tattoos, and a piercing glare that could freeze anyone in place, he ruled the bar and the streets outside with unquestioned authority. No one dared to cross him, or so everyone thought that evening. While Vance's gang was playing poker and laughing, the heavy wooden door swung open. All eyes fell on a delicate, elderly woman stepping inside. Her posture was straight, her eyes sharp as knives, and in her hand, she carried only a small leather purse. She wore a floral dress that stood out against the sea of black leather jackets. Whispers spread quickly. "Who is she?" a young biker asked. "Is she a granny?" The old woman showed no hesitation. She walked decisively toward Vance, who until now had been in a surprisingly cheerful mood. Leaning back in his chair and cracking his knuckles, he laughed. Wow, what's this? Granny lost her knitting club and ended up in the wrong place. No one could predict what would happen next. In a swift motion, despite her age, the woman raised her hand and slapped Vance hard across the face. The sound echoed like a gunshot through the bar. Silence fell instantly, even the jukebox seemed to stop. Vance blinked in shock, rubbing his cheek, mouth agape. You dared," he started, but the woman interrupted with a sharp, commanding voice, "Do not disrespect anyone, especially the weak or the innocent." For a few moments, no one moved. The bikers, accustomed to violence and chaos, were stunned, unsure how to respond to such boldness. Vance, however, was furious. His face burned with anger, but before he could strike back, the woman raised a finger. "Sit down, or you'll have to learn respect the hard way." The whole bar watched as Vance's anger collided with curiosity. He knew he was skilled at crushing men twice his size, but the woman's confidence had thrown him off balance. Finally, with reluctant pride, he gestured for her to continue. The elderly woman stood boldly in front of the bar and began to tell her story. She spoke of how Vance's gang had recently been terrorizing neighborhoods, harassing shopkeepers, frightening families, and stealing from those who couldn't fight back. She spoke of fear, injustice, and the power of standing up for what is right. By the time she finished, the room had transformed. The bikers who had laughed at her frailty now listened intently. Some bowed their heads in shame. Vance felt a weight he hadn't experienced in years. "Who are you?" he asked softly, his voice stripped of its usual authority. The old woman smiled, not gently, but sharply, knowingly, and with authority. "I am a believer in justice," she said. "I am your conscience, whether you like it or not." Vance's mind raced. No one had ever spoken to him like that, much less slapped him and walked away unafraid. He looked at his gang, seeing hesitation in their eyes. For the first time, he realized that loyalty based on fear is fragile, and the woman had broken it in moments. In the following days, rumors spread across the city. The story of how the elderly woman slapped the biker leader traveled faster than the roar of Vance's motorcycles. But what happened next was even more surprising. Instead of seeking revenge, Vance began to change. He performed small acts of goodwill, helping shopkeepers, returning stolen goods, and gradually teaching his gang to treat the community with respect. The bar, once a symbol of fear, slowly became a place where bikers and citizens could coexist. The elderly woman became a legend in the neighborhood. People called her the Whisper of Justice, though she never publicly returned to the bar. Yet Vance often, in quiet moments, looked toward the door, hoping she might come back. And whenever he remembered the slap, its power, dignity, and unwavering courage, he smiled. That single moment had changed him, his gang, and the entire city. It was a reminder that heroism does not always make noise, it sometimes moves silently, delivering a decisive blow when needed. For the people of the city, they learned that true power is not always worn in leather or carried in guns. Sometimes, it comes in the form of a floral dress, a small purse, and the courage to teach the toughest men the hardest lesson: respect and kindness are stronger than fear.